What is your medical background? Keep it brief. Where you trained, your specialty, what you focus on clinically.
Yeah, I graduated the University of Massachusetts Medical School in 2022. I did clinical rotations in sports medicine as well as rehabilitation medicine. And then I did a little bit of orthopedic training in Germany at Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich.
And what was your specialty?
My specialty was actually interventional radiology.
Okay. And what frustrated you about how patients were getting orthotics?
Well, I think the biggest problem with orthotics is that you don't learn about the importance of corrective footwear during medical school. It's largely left to podiatry, and so many of my patients had initial problems that stemmed from foot pain. And that can escalate from just foot pain to knee pain to back pain to low mobility, which leads to heart disease and all other systemic problems. So, what frustrated me most was just the lack of access and thought in the medical community about orthotics.
What did you see that made you want to build something? I guess it's the same question. Do any any other topic that we want? This is now just me talking to you. Like any other thing that
Yeah.
we want to kind of like bring in here? Um,
Yeah, you can ask me about like what got me into like remote health or digital health.
okay, yeah. What got you into remote and digital health?
Well, during medical school is when the COVID pandemic happened, and I actually joined as a student to be on a telehealth implementation task force in the university hospital system. And I saw just how powerful it was to bring digital technology into healthcare and how it made patient care so much easier. The accessibility that patients had, where they didn't have to take as much time off of work, find childcare for their kids, drive sometimes up to 60 or 70 miles to make a doctor's appointment was just so powerful. And I became really passionate about finding solutions to make healthcare easier for patients, not doctors.
Okay, okay. Sorry, these are like I asked more questions, but I think it's just good. We have a bunch of them. Um, you're a physician. What? Why did you leave medicine to build an orthotics company?
Yeah, well, I left medicine to build an orthotics company for several reasons. Although I will say I don't feel as though I left medicine. I interact with patients every day, and I think I get to help more people than I would have if I was still doing the typical clinical day to day. But actually, after medical school, I worked as a senior leader at a startup in Boston that made an ultrasound machine for women to do their own prenatal imaging. That means imaging their own baby at home using a smartphone. And already with my background in digital health and making healthcare more accessible, this was really exciting to me. And I was looking for other ways that I could bring the most powerful medical device, which I think the smartphone is, into other branches of medicine. And then I thought the best place to see where there's more opportunity was business school. And lo and behold, I started business school. And 1 week into it, a colleague, or I should say classmate, put in a group chat, "Hey, I have an idea for custom orthotics. Is anyone interested?" And it occurred to me that you could do 3D scanning with a smartphone using the front facing camera. It also had occurred to now my co founder. And together we were able to build something I think that's really special and has continued to help a lot of people.
Awesome. Okay, and you called something like 200 clinics globally before choosing Walter Orthopedic. What were you looking for, and why did Germany win?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, when I was calling all of these clinics, I was looking for two things. I wanted someone excited about technology. I think as a clinician, I find that a lot of older practitioners tend to be set in their ways and they're not really willing to explore how technology can enable better patient care. So, I needed somebody who was innovative. And I also needed someone who, for lack of a better word, was humble. When I was calling all of these clinicians, they all had their own set theories about what makes the best orthotic. And funnily enough, between Germany, France, England, Australia, the United States, even Canada, they all had somewhat different theories. And these were all really established practices. So I wanted someone who understood there may not be just one right orthotic for each person, but really was able to work with individual patients to make the right custom orthotic for them.
Good, really good answer. Okay. Uh, so what does Stride do differently that most podiatrists? What does Stride do differently that most podiatrists and orthotics companies aren't doing?
Yeah, so I think we do things differently on two levels. One is our process, and the other is the actual end orthotic. So when it comes to the process, obviously we're far more accessible than any other clinic in the world. You can reach us online no matter what country you're in, and I think that's really special. Our process was designed to mimic the same clinical accuracy that you'd get if you're there in person, but we devised with our podiatrists, podorthists, and other technologists a system that allows you to do this from home. Uniquely, we capture a gait analysis, a 3D foot scan, and our intake questionnaire really mimics the questions you'd hear by your doctor in practice. Then the second part is the orthotic itself. Now, when you go to when you go to the podiatrist in the United States, you typically get a very hard, very rigid custom orthotic that is like a piece of plastic that has no bend to it. And that's a lot like putting a cast on your foot that doesn't let your foot and muscles expand, grow, reshape, and correct. What we do is a little different. We use semi-rigid TPU, which is a really advanced plastic polymer that our 3D printers are able to put out that is able to make a custom orthotic that provides corrective impulses throughout the foot. So you don't just feel better, but your foot actually improves to prevent injury in the long run. Greg? Oh,
Sorry, I
oh,
lost.
no, no. I was worried that
Lost
my
the screen.
phone died. I
No,
think
no, no,
there's
no, no. This is all really good. Okay, next question. Look at the same place. So you're not a podiatrist specifically. Why should someone trust that Stride's orthotics are generally? Oh, sorry, I'm going to start over. You're not a podiatrist specifically. Why should someone trust that Stride's orthotics are clinically sound?
Yeah, I am not a podiatrist. I've never claimed to be a podiatrist. And I think one of the reasons I'm so interested in this part of medicine is that it's really ignored by the broad medical community. And I think I have unique insight to see why that makes such an impact in people's overall health. Every single doctor that you go to, other than a podiatrist, has no training when it comes to corrective foot structure, corrective orthotics, or really foot anatomy in general. So, what I have that other clinicians don't is the maybe the humility to realize I need to outsource the expertise. And that goes back to calling hundreds, literally hundreds of orthopedic and podiatric practices around the world to find who does have that expertise. And in the end, I settled on Walter Orthopädie, which is a podiatry and orthopedics and podiatry and custom orthotics clinic in Baden-Württemberg, Germany, right outside of Munich. And they are just above and beyond. They make custom orthotics for some of the top athletes in the world, for the German national soccer team, professional golfers, cyclists, runners, but also people who are just every day trying to move and live better.
Similar to the next question, but we just re-ask it. Who is this genuinely the right fit for?
Yeah, I think saying who are orthotics the right fit for isn't exactly the right question. I would turn it around and say, what is your goal? And we will work with you to make your movement goal realized with our custom orthotics and our literal 4 generations of expertise in this field. So if your goal is just to live and move a little bit better, we can do that. If your goal is to break your marathon PR time, we can help with that. If you want to see if you can score more goals this season in soccer, we can also help with that. So it's not who is it for, it's what are you trying to do and how we can help you achieve that goal.
This is really good stuff. Okay, that's I think that's a wrap. Yeah, let me edit it and see what we come up with. Yeah, I'd say like try to do all. Let's try to like mimic. I like the shirt, the location, the lighting. I think it's gonna work. So yeah, I guess just work on the other ones. This should be
Yeah,
faster.
I need to charge my phone because it's going to die, but I'll make the other 2 videos today. Also,
What?
I said I need to charge my phone because it's going to die, but I'll make the other 2 videos today as well.
Okay, I thought you said also, and then you stopped. But
Oh, yeah. Like, I will do it also.
okay, all right, I'm gonna stop.